I am opening before you a time full of grace, so that you may learn how to receive the blessings I have prepared with a heart of peace and trust. My child, pause in this moment and listen to me, not as someone afraid of losing something, but as a child being called closer by their father into loving care. I know you have passed through many seasons of lack, many days of calculating every small thing, many nights when your heart was heavy because of responsibilities that had not yet been lifted. I know there were times when your hands were empty, yet your heart still tried to hold on to a ray of hope. I know you have looked up to me many times in silence and asked when provision would come, when the door would open, when the worries clinging to you would be removed from your life. Today, I want you to hear this deeply. I have never forgotten your name. This moment does not come to make you panic, but to awaken holy expectation within you. I do not hang my blessings before you like something fragile, nor do I want you to think that my love can be lost because of one moment of delay. What I have for you is kept in my faithfulness, but I want your heart to open so that you may recognize it, receive it, and steward it with wisdom. There are blessings that do not only need to be poured out, they also need a heart calm enough not to turn them into a burden. There are doors that do not only need to be opened, they also need feet steady enough to walk through without losing purity. Gratitude and humility. My beloved, I have seen the days when you walked through fire and still did not let go of faith. I saw you choose prayer instead of complaint. Even though there were so many things inside you that wanted to burst into words, I saw the nights when you had almost nothing left in your hands, yet still tried to find a reason to give thanks. I saw you give when you yourself needed to be lifted up. Saw you help others while your own heart was waiting for help. Those things are not small before me. People may overlook hidden sacrifices, but I do not. I have remembered every seed you sowed in tears, every upright act you did when no one saw, every time you chose to keep your heart tender, even when life had reasons to make you hard. Now, I am drawing you out of the mindset of depletion. I do not want you to live forever in the fear that tomorrow will lack, that everything will fall apart, that you must always hold yourself together alone. I want you to know that my provision has more forms than you imagine. It may come as a work opportunity opening at the right time. It may come as a new idea that illuminates your direction. It may come through someone being moved to support you. It may come as a refund, a business door, a healthy connection, an unexpected arrangement, or wisdom that helps you manage what you already have better than before. Do not limit my flow to one single form, because I can cause fullness to bloom from the place you thought was driest. The scrolls of abundance you have heard about do not only speak of money, but also of the part of your life I want to restore. I want to erase from your heart the feeling of being forgotten. I want to replace anxiety with trust. I want to turn financial fear into wise alertness, so you know how to plan, preserve, solve, receive, share, and live generously without being swept into pride. I do not only want to remove a bill, a debt, or a difficult stage from you. I want to rebuild within you a new foundation, where yesterday's lack no longer controls the way you look at tomorrow. You once thought closed doors were evidence that you had been rejected, But I say that many doors closed only to protect you from an exchange that was not worthy of you. There were things you desired, but if they had arrived too soon, they would have made you more tired instead of lighter. There were sources of provision you thought were the answer, but I knew what lay behind them could pull you away from peace. So, I kept you, sometimes by making you wait, sometimes by redirecting your path, sometimes by causing what you clung to no longer attract you as before. I did not take away in order to impoverish you. I rearranged so that you could receive what is cleaner, more enduring, and more aligned with the purpose I placed upon your life. Today, I want you to prepare for my outpouring with an upright heart. Release the words of self-blame that have made you weary. Lay down the shame over the years when you did not accomplish what you hoped you would. Stop calling yourself a failure simply because your journey has had slower stretches than others. I do not measure you by the speed of the world. I see your endurance, your faithfulness, your honesty, and your return after every weakness. When I bless, I do not only answer a need. I also confirm that the seasons when you quietly stood firm were not in vain. I will turn what once made you afraid into the place where you learn wisdom, and what once made you cry into the place where you come to know my kindness more deeply. You ask whether you will receive or let it pass by. I do not want you to answer with outward haste, but with an inward decision. Are you willing to believe that I am still good? Are you willing to steward the little you currently have with faithfulness? Are you willing to give up the habits that leak blessing? Are you willing to step out of the fear of lack and learn to live in the wisdom of beloved children? True receiving is not only opening your hands, it is opening your heart. It is not only wanting more to be added, but allowing me to correct what needs correction, heal what needs healing, and teach you to become someone who can carry blessing while still keeping purity. I am acting on your behalf, even in the places where you have not yet seen movement. I am softening hearts that need to be softened. I am arranging encounters that need to come. I am closing dangerous paths and opening healthy doors. I am bringing you out of the cycle of anxiety, delay, and disappointment. What has been stored in my grace for you will not be stolen by darkness when you walk in the light. But remember, great blessing must walk with great humility. True abundance does not make you forget me, it makes you thank me more deeply. True restoration does not make you despise others, it makes you become a gentle source of support for those who are also passing through seasons of lack, as you once did. Therefore, my beloved, lift up your head and let your heart rest in me. Do not let financial worry speak louder than my word. Do not let old empty nights convince you that tomorrow will be empty in the same way. Do not let yesterday's delay make you doubt today's faithfulness. I am bringing you into a season of learning how to receive without fear, walk without trembling, steward without confusion, and hope without shame. The things I have prepared for you will come in a timing that carries peace. When provision opens, you will know that I heard every prayer, saw every tear, treasured every time you still gave thanks in lack, and led you to this day not so that you could boast, but so that you could recognize that your Father always knows how to care for the child he loves. You must not leave this moment while I am speaking to you, because you have come too far in faith to miss what I have prepared right before the threshold. My beloved, There were seasons when you had to take each step in tears, roads you did not understand why they had to be so long. Times when you thought you were exhausted before reaching my appointed meeting place. But today I tell you, do not turn away when the shift has already begun. Do not let the weariness of the final moment make you lose what you prayed for through so many long nights. What I am bringing to you is not merely a small blessing to temporarily ease pain. This is a complete reversal, a divine turnaround over the losses, delays, lack, and chaos that once tried to define your life. You will see the things that once weighed heavily on your shoulders begin to be removed. The debts that once made you lose sleep will no longer be allowed to rule your mind as before. The doors that once closed before you will begin to hear my command and open at the right time. The voices that once opposed you, doubted you, and underestimated you will no longer have the authority to decide your worth. And in the place that was once full of chaos, I will cause peace to flow like clear water, covering cracked ground. Remain in my presence, because you are standing at the edge of an abundant outpouring that human strength cannot create. Human wisdom cannot arrange, and earthly hands cannot take credit for. This is not coming only because you have tried so hard, though I have seen your diligence. This is not coming only because you have endured for so long, though I have seen your perseverance. This is coming because my hand is moving over your life. I am the one who opens a way where there is no way, the one who nourishes you in the dry season, the one who calls life to rise from where things seem to have ended. I am with you right now, not distant, not indifferent, not silent in the way you once feared. I have chosen this moment to shake what needs to be shaken, to remove from you burdens that have been there too long, and to open a new chapter that you could not write by your own strength. You cried in secret, but I will bless you in a way that makes your heart understand I never forgot. You once wiped your tears alone after nights of financial worry, but I will teach you what it means to sleep in peace. Not because you have controlled every detail, but because you know your Father is caring for each one. You have lived too long in survival mode, always calculating, always guarded, always preparing for the worst, always wondering how to make it through tomorrow. But I did not create you to live forever in that contracted place. I am moving you from struggle into spaciousness, from fear of lack into trust, from days of merely trying not to collapse into a season where you can stand upright in dignity and peace. I am releasing blessing into the places you once saw as empty. I am calling provision to your home, to your work, to the decisions you must make, to the roads that seem to have no opening. Tell your fear that it no longer has authority over your life. Tell doubt that it must be silent before the word I have spoken. I am your Lord, and I do not lie. If I have said that I will care for you, that care will come at the right time. If I have promised that I will open a way, no wall can stand forever before my purpose. If I have declared a season of abundance over you, then lack does not have the right to give the final verdict. But my child, I also want you to understand that you must not leave the position of faith before it is revealed. There are doors that open according to timing, and there are seasons that require a watchful heart. I do not want you to live in panic, but I want you to value the hour in which I am calling you. Do not let distraction pull you away from listening. Do not let old disappointment close your heart just as the new thing is drawing near. Do not let long waiting convince you that this time will also pass meaninglessly. I am watching how you respond, not to find fault with you, but to teach you that faith in a decisive moment can become the key that opens storehouses you once thought were not meant for you. Your name is not forgotten before me. Your prayers have not been discarded. The sleepless nights, the times you still gave while you yourself lacked, the times you chose what was right, though the easier option was calling, the times you kept faith, though there was no clear sign, I saw them all. I do not need human approval to favor you. I do not need to consult those who once opposed you before I lift you up. I do not ask permission from the lies that once said you were unworthy. When I decide to bless, no darkness, no accusation, and no mistake from the past has the right to be stronger than my mercy and my purpose for you. You are chosen, protected, and led into a new season not only of abundance, but also of supernatural peace. I do not only want you to have more in your hands, I want you to be lighter in your heart. I do not only want you to see numbers change, I want you to see fear lose its power. I do not only want your needs to be resolved, I want you to be healed from the mindset of always living as though you are about to lack. The wealth I bring does not only rest in material things, but also in clarity, honor, peace, freedom, pure connexion, and the ability to walk without being pulled backward by the past. Therefore, my beloved, stand firm. Do not turn away right before dawn breaks. Do not give up when the finish line is closer than you think. Do not let what you have lost make you doubt what I am returning. I am doing something greater than compensation. I am rewriting your story by the power of restoration. What once made you bow your head will no longer be a chain. The places that were once full of chaos will be covered by me with order. The doors that once closed will open at my command. And when you see this happen, you will know that luck did not find you, that people did not pity you, but that I, the one who has always been with you, moved, protected, provided, and brought you into the new season by my gracious hand. Darkness is trembling before what I am about to open over your life, and that is why it tries to make you distracted, doubtful, and pass by this call as though it were just an ordinary moment. My beloved child, listen to me carefully, because there are moments that do not come to entertain you, but to awaken you. There are words that are not sent for you to read and forget, but to touch the deepest place in your heart and draw you back to watchfulness. The adversary knows that a season is drawing near, a season when you will no longer live in lack, no longer have to bow your head before delay, no longer have to tremble before closed doors. It knows that when I open the source of blessing over your life, the years when you cried in secret will no longer be signs of failure, but testimonies of my faithfulness. So it tries to pour doubt into you, tries to make you scroll past, tries to make your heart numb before the Father's call. But I am standing near you in this hour, knocking on the door of your heart with mercy and urgency. If you open your heart and receive this word by faith, I will do more than you ever prayed for. I will move beyond the limits you set in your thoughts, beyond what you consider possible, beyond even the prayers you once prayed cautiously because you were afraid to desire too much. You once asked me for just enough to get through the day. But I want to teach you that your Father is not only the one who helps you survive, I am the one who brings you into abundance with purpose. You once prayed for a way out, but I prepared a wider land. You once asked for a little support, but I am arranging restoration. You once hoped to breathe more easily, but I want to place in your life a lasting peace, a source of provision that not only touches your hands, but also renews the way you look at the future. Right now, divine guarding is being placed around you. I have sent help from above to cover your house, your work, the things you are building, and even the dreams you once had to hide because you feared disappointment. There are doors being opened with keys you do not hold in your hands. There are things that have been recorded, appointed, and prepared in the place where I reign. There are sources of provision moving from directions you have never thought of. You thought you were only waiting. But behind that waiting, I have been arranging. You thought you were delayed. But in truth, certain help was being moved into position. You thought everything was silent. But over your life, there are movements your eyes have not yet fully seen. Those forms of help do not come empty-handed. They come carrying the riches of grace, protection, opened ways, confirmation, support, and opportunities you could not create by your own strength. I do not send anything to you without meaning. When I send support, it carries purpose. When I send helpers, they carry part of the answer to the things you prayed for quietly. When I open a source, that source does not only meet a present need, it also confirms that you have never been forgotten in my plan. You are not here by accident. You did not stop before this word by floating coincidence. I drew your attention here because in the heavenly realm, your name has been called into a time of transition. This is a sacred meeting between you and the abundance I have prepared. Not abundance so that you may become proud. Not abundance that makes you forget the source of blessing, but fullness so that you may be restored, lifted up, and become a stream of blessing to those around you. You have survived enough hardship. You have gone through seasons when you had to gather every small bit of strength to continue. You know what it feels like to pray in tears, to wait for an answer in silence, to look at circumstances and see no way out. But I say to you that now, I do not only want you to have enough so you will not fall. I want to fill your cup until goodness overflows from your life. I want you to see that my care is not poor, not depleted, not limited by what the world calls reasonable. I will do this publicly, not so that you can boast, but so that the words that once opposed you will be silenced. I will bless you in the light, so that your restoration will no longer be hidden. Those who blessed you with sincere hearts will be touched by the goodness I pour through you. The things once spoken to wound you will lose their power over your life, because my word is greater than every negative word. I will open doors no one can close, doors that carry peace, right timing, and my mark. And I will also close doors that have made you weary, doors that caused you to lose rest, paths that drained your faith and made you forget that you are my beloved child. Do not grieve the things I close, because many times a closing is mercy, protecting you from what is not worthy of the new season. The days when you only knew how to plead in lack are shifting. The days when you bowed your head before worry as though it were your destiny are ending. Your season of blessing has begun, but you must receive this with seriousness. Do not take my call lightly. Do not treat what is holy as a passing emotion. This is not an exaggeration meant to excite you for a moment. This is a reminder from eternity, the prompting of your Father calling you to rise out of indifference. I do not always speak loudly, but there are days when my love becomes urgent, because I do not want you to miss the time I am opening. Receive before hesitation steals your response. Open your heart before fear convinces you that this word is not for you. Rise in faith before old habits pull you back into doubt. Your hands will not remain empty forever. The nights you stayed awake because of worry will no longer have the right to rule you as before. The lack that made you calculate every small thing will no longer be the loudest voice in your day. I am teaching you to live from trust, not from panic. I am bringing you out of the mindset of only hoping to survive tomorrow, and into the peace of someone who knows their Father is caring for every need. Like a vessel that once thought it was empty but is filled beyond expectation, your life also will be touched by me with unusual abundance. What you thought had run out will begin to flow again. What you thought had closed will begin to open. What you thought was too late will be brought by me into the right time. Therefore, my beloved child, do not let distraction defeat you in this hour. Do not let the voice of doubt become louder than mine. Do not let old fear make you stand outside the new source of blessing. Open the door of your heart. Receive my covering. Step into abundance with humility, open hands, and steady faith. I am covering your house, your work, your dreams, and everything I have entrusted you to guard. I am opening a way where you see no way. I am sending provision from places you have never imagined. I am filling your cup, not only so that you may be lifted, but so that through your life, others may also recognize that your Father is faithful, generous, and full of mercy. What I have begun in you will not stop halfway, and the abundance I am releasing will come at the right time, in the right way, according to the good purpose I have placed upon you. The adversary tried to use fear, confusion, and delay to block your miracle. But I am tearing down every dark wall standing between you and the breakthrough I have ordained. My beloved child, hear me with an awakened heart, because there are things that have opposed you longer than you realize, but they are not stronger than my power. There are pressures that tried to cover your mind with fog, causing you to no longer see clearly what I promised. There are delays that tried to make you believe that the door would never open. There are fears that whispered that you are not capable enough, not worthy enough, not loved enough to step into what is good. But today I say to you, those voices have no right to rule your future. They are only noise before the hour of transition. They are only darkness, trying to prolong a night that has come to an end. I am stepping into the place where you once felt powerless, and where my hand touches, no wall is allowed to remain standing. I am sending help from above to protect what I have written in your destiny. What I have inscribed upon your journey cannot be erased by the opposition of others, cannot be delayed forever by closed doors, and cannot be cancelled by accusations. There are things in your life ordained by my love, not by your imperfection. There are blessings preserved for you, not because you have never been weak in heart, but because I am faithful. There are restorations arranged beforehand. Not because present circumstances look favorable, but because my word has the authority to make dry places live again. Therefore, do not measure your destiny by yesterday. Do not look at what has been locked, shut, and conclude that it will stay closed forever. I declare that what needs to be opened will be opened. What needs to be released will be released. And what belongs to you according to my purpose will not be stolen. The places that were once locked are beginning to open. You may not yet hear the hinges moving, but in the spiritual realm, the bolts have begun to loosen. You may not yet see the news arrive. The transfer come, the call, the invitation, or the outward change, but do not let your eyes deny what I am doing behind the curtain. Before the blessing appears in your hands, it has already been prepared in my arrangement. Before the door opens before you, I have already touched the one holding the key. Before you step into a new season, I have cleared from your path the things that could make you stumble. I do not work carelessly. I do not bless chaotically. I open at the right time, in the right place, in the right way, so that you not only receive, but also know how to guard what I entrust to you with wisdom. I have sealed the blessings that carry your name in my faithfulness. Understand this, my beloved. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. People may not see what you carry. They may overlook you, misunderstand you, or remember you only through the seasons when you were weakest. But I see fully. I see your endurance. I see the times when you kept faith with no sign to encourage you. I see the times when you tried to do what was right in a difficult situation. I see your heart remaining tender after things that could have made you close it. And because I see, I will reveal what I have prepared in a way that will make you understand that no hidden season was in vain. This miracle will silence the accusations that once opposed you. The voices that once called you a failure will not be able to stand before the restoration I bring. The words that once made you ashamed will be drowned out by the new song I place in your mouth. The memories that once made you bow your head will no longer have the right to hold you in the old shadow. I am turning your shame into joy, your tears into testimony, and the years of being underestimated into a season of being lifted up. Not so that you may retaliate, not so that you may prove yourself above anyone, but so that you may know that your Father knows how to defend with love, restore with power, and rewrite the story right at the place where others thought it had ended. I am moving over your life. I am unlocking what was held back. I am cleansing the atmosphere around you. I am protecting what belongs to your destiny. I am preparing releases that you have never known how to name. My beloved child, be at peace. What I have spoken is not cancelled by opposition. What I have written is not erased by darkness. What I have begun will not stop midway. Your miracle is coming, not as something small that helps you merely survive, but as confirmation that my hand has always been upon you, that your name has always been remembered, and that the season of breakthrough has begun to open before you.